Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Silver Slayer, and welcome to your daily silver stacking video. Thank you for tuning in. The point of this video is hopefully going to shed light on how to realistically, or what it's going to take to realistically make some real money when it comes to stacking silver. A lot of us just start aimlessly buying, not really thinking about, how much are we going to put in? How much are we planning on making when we sell? Is it six figures? Is it $10,000? Is it $1 million? I mean, are we stacking for retirement? What's our income? Is this realistic? Are we stacking outside of our limitations? Right? Just because you can buy something doesn't mean you can afford to buy something. I might be able to buy that new Tesla, but can I afford it? I might see Silver Slacker unbox, 500 ounces in one video, but can I afford to do that as well? This video hopefully should put things in perspective for yourself. This will be one of the most humbling videos for some of you because it's really going to show you where you're at and what you can afford. Because I did the numbers, and there's no content like this out there. There really isn't. We're literally about to talk about what you need to do to make your goal. So you have to think of the goal. Is your goal $100,000? What is the end game? Financial freedom? Well, if you're only 16 years old, $10,000 is plenty, right? $10,000 to a 16-year-old is like $100,000 to a 30, 40-year-old. So you can get and see how age also is extremely relevant when we're looking at this, right? How much money do you make? So I did very low amounts realistically to someone who is 18, 19, and then I also did some of the bigger numbers from someone who's maybe trying to retire. So we're going to get the whole picture here. So let's do this thing. Now, I used the average price of silver at $30 for this video. So just remember that. We're looking at all these numbers from you're buying silver at $30, which most importantly means your dollar per ounce average is 30. That's why when I always say try to lower your dollar per ounce average, it's because when it is time to sell, that's going to be the number that determines how profitable you are. So if you're someone that likes buying a lot of high premium silver like pandas and kookaburras, I always say sometimes it's time to get back to the basics because that means your dollar per ounce average is a lot higher than it should be when you're looking at silver as an investment itself, not the collectible side of things, which is your pandas that are $20-$25 over spot when you could be buying an extra ounce of silver for that. So you got the gist of what this video is about. So let's do it. Let's say your goal is 100 ounces of silver, and let's also say that your goal is 100 ounces of silver, but you never thought about how much money that could get you when it's time to sell. You just know that you started stacking. Your first goal is 100 ounces. Is that realistic? Let's see if that's realistic to make any type of real money. Well, if you stack 100 ounces of silver, and remember $30 an ounce, that's $3,000. So it's going to take you $3,000 to reach that 100-ounce goal. So if silver hits $100 and you sell at $100, that's $10,000, which is a $7,000 profit. That means you have made $7,000 profit. So you turn $3,000 into $10,000. But like I said, is $10,000 enough for you to feel comfortable? Now, if you're someone who's in their 20s, probably not, or mid 20s, or depending upon your situation. If you're working at McDonald's, then obviously this is great. But if you're someone who's that has a career, a built job, then no. So let's also take things a step further and look at you have 100 ounces. But instead of selling at $100, you sell at $250. Let's say silver gets to 250. Now we're talking a little more. You now would be selling your stack at $25,000. That's a $22,000 profit. I mean, do you see the difference from making $7,000 profit to $22,000 profit? That's nearly triple. That is triple. That's a big deal. Let's look at those two numbers real quick. Because when I did those two numbers, it really did shock me of how you could make 3 times as much when you're looking at 100 ounces for both of those, right? 100 ounces, both of those. Just one is $100, the other one's $250. You wouldn't think $100 compared to $250 selling is would make that big of a difference in profit wise, but it would. And when we're talking about triple digit silver, who knows? If we break through $100, we could see it go up to 200. We could see it go back down to 180. We could see it go to 270, then 230, then 320, and then 290, and then 410, and then 37. It'll be going up and down. So my point is this: when it does break past, and I mean when it will, not if it will, you see how $100 compared to $250 could literally mean you making a $7,000 profit or a $22,000 profit. Now look at these numbers. I took a step further. Let's say you have your goal's 250 ounces, but you never thought about how much money that would look like when you go to sell. So if you stack 250 ounces, and remember, it's $30, your dollar per ounce average, and you sell at $100, that's $25,000, right? 250 ounces, you sell at $100. That's $25,000. That would mean that you have just made a $9.5 thousand profit. You just made $9,500, and that's only selling at $100 silver. That's important to think about. $100 silver is very realistic. Very realistic. So 250 ounces, right? I mean, yes, that's a decent amount, but that's not that much. That's not, I mean, and it might seem like a lot if you're working a minimum wage job, but cut out Starbucks once a week, or maybe stack 1 or 2 ounces of silver every month, sacrificing some other area, and you'll be surprised how quick your stack will start to accumulate. So then let's push this envelope. 250 ounces, just like the previous scenario. So you stack 250 ounces, but you're not going to sell until it's $250 an ounce. Look at this. That means you will be selling your stack at $62,500. That's a profit of $55,500. Let me say that again. If you buy silver at $30 an ounce, and you then buy 250 ounces worth of silver, and you sell at 250 ounces, that's a $55,500 profit. No way, Silver Slayer. Well, let's do the math. 250, right, times 30, $7,500. That's how much it costs to buy 250 ounces. 250 times 250, 62,500 minus that 7,000. That's your average, $55,500 profit. So I also wanted to, because when I did this, it was interesting. And then I wanted to think about the step further. Let's say someone wanted to make 6 figures. What would it take for them to do that? Well, I did the math. And I'm not trying to sound like this is complicated math. It's very simple math. But even though it's simple math, for some reason, a lot of people don't do the numbers. I mean, it's called a silver stacking strategy for a reason. We're strategizing. Gamblers throw money. The odds are against them. The odds are not in their favor, highly against them. Investors make strategic decisions based on information. So, since we're trying to adjust, and adapt and use these odds in our favor, let's do that. Well, let's say you wanted to make six figures. We'll just go at $100,000. So if you wanted to make $100,000 off of stacking silver, that's your goal to retire or something, whatever. It would cost you $30,000 for 1,000 ounces of silver, which sold at $100 is $100,000 a prop, or $100,000. So let me say that again. It takes 1,000 ounces of silver being bought at $30, because remember, the standard of this entire video has been $30 an ounce. So if silver's $30 an ounce, and you want to buy, or okay, so I'm gonna try to break it down. So because I know that was kind of worded weird, I kind of did the numbers backwards. So this is the best way for it to make sense. Let's say spot price is $30 right now. If you want to make $100,000, you have to buy 1,000 ounces, right? Which costs $30,000. And then you'd have to wait for silver to hit $100 and sell. Let me say it again. Spot price is $30 right now. Your goal would be accumulating 1,000 ounces of silver and wait for it to hit $100. And that's how you get your 100,000. So, I mean, I hope I put this in perspective. I know some of this could be a little shocking. I remember the first time I ever did this a couple years ago. It really opened my eyes to it, made my goals more realistic. It really made me think, maybe 200 ounces isn't enough of a goal. If I'm, because when I first started, 200, every stacker's first goal is 100 ounces, and then you start branching out. But realistically, if we're talking about financial freedom, we have to be looking at 50K plus. Well, I guess I can't say that because it depends upon every person. Some people are younger, some people are older, some people have different investments into other assets as well. Some people invest into gold, real estate. So even though $50,000 may sound like a lot to you, to someone else that might be money they inherited, or they already have money coming in from, land. I mean, there's so many different ways. So you can't really look at it as everyone has the same standard or the same type of measurement. Just apply this to yourself. Don't worry about anyone else. Look at yourself. Look at, your investments, how much money you make. Look at realistically what you think you can accumulate, whether it's 500 ounces, whether it's 20 ounces, whether it's 5,000 ounces. Realistically look at that and then do the math. I just use a standard at $30 because that's what most of us are paying for a physical ounce of silver right now. Spot price being $23, $30, and then do the math. And then now you have a literal goal. When you're just aimlessly buying, it's a lot harder to have a goal because you have no literal number in sight. So there's nothing to achieve, right? For me, when I set a goal, it has to be an actual number, so then I know exactly how much, and it's much more rewarding and satisfying once you hit it. If you're just kind of just aimlessly buying, you're not chasing anything, you're just buying. But if you say, okay, I only have 22 ounces left, and you buy, then you buy 10 more ounces. I only have 12 ounces left. That's going to make things easier, in my opinion, at least. Some people, maybe they're that works worse for them. I don't know. For me, though, I like looking at the numbers, looking at what I need, and then go from there. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button. If you thought this was helpful, like the video. If you realized something from this, if you had one of those enlightened moments from this video, let me know. Let me know what you thought about it. If anything else popped up in your head or anything you wanted to add to the video, comment down below. Make sure you're subscribed. I'm so excited for this year. Lots coming. Thanks for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.